Hi Sparrows, this is Ganguly Sparrow from Kamaredi TTWREIS Boys Ganguly. So friends, here I am going to talk about history subject. Friends, here I am very happy to be here to teach about history subject. Before going to my class, I would like to say something about our Honorable Prime Kumar sir. So friends, we know well about our Honorable Prime Kumar sir, but in this occasion, I would like to give some message about our Honorable Prime Kumar sir. So yeah friends, I am going to talk about an eminent person who was given a structure to our society. So friends, he was given a wonderful weapon to us, that is a sparrow. Friends, it's not his name, it's one of the weapon to students. Because of sparrows, I created one quotation that is, sparrows are desh ka heroes. Sparrows are desh ka heroes. We should be prove that friends, it is our aim and we should be prove that. Okay, let's go into our class. So friends, my subject is history and my mentor is Challagiri. So friends, I am going to talk about history subject. So before the commencement of my history subject, I would like to ask one question to you. So that is, what is your opinion on history subject? So when I am asked this subject, so when I ask this question to my friends, I regarded some feedback from them. So those are, so someone says that history nothing but what was happening in the past, just record it. Okay, and someone says that history is nothing but it deals with the past events. Absolutely right. There is no need to objection on that, because of history is nothing but a particular event what was happening in the past, just record it. So that is the meaning of history. But friends, here small correction. I don't satisfy with that statement, because of I would like to say that history is not only deals with the past, it also deals with the future. Friends, I think you are shocked, because of we know what was happening in the past, it's fine. But how can history could resolve the future things? It wasn't possible to everyone, because of it's a hidden reason. It's on God thing only. We can't evolve this. So that's why I will prove it with the best example. I hope that definitely it will familiar to you. So my example is, I am going to sync with our Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. Of course, both are the father of their nations. You know, Mahatma Gandhi is the father of our nation, and Nelson Mandela was the father of South Africa. So here, I am going to give one example to you. Gandhi went to South Africa in the period of 1893, when he was aged 22 years. So he went to South Africa for barrister education, for getting experience in the lawyer education. Here my point is, when Gandhiji went to the South Africa, he faced some more problems like as discriminations and as well as some more variation among the peoples who are white and who are the black. So at a time, he makes some strike against the Britishers who were ruled in the South Africa. And he mostly fight for getting the fundamental rights to use for the people. So here my friends, my concept is, I am going to focus it on how Gandhiji was emphasized it and how Gandhiji was initiate some more movements. He given firstly, he designed one way how we fight against the Britishers. He was the contribution of our Gandhiji. So at a time, he went to the South Africa. At here, he mostly fight against the Britishers, like as he also initiated some more movement. So those are, we can discuss right now, the non-violence movement of Satyagraha and the Phoenix movement, and some more movement was initiated by the Gandhiji to fight against the Britishers. So it's fine that. So here, what he made the Gandhiji contribution and what he made the history of Gandhiji, so it was inspired to the many of South African people. So it also later inspired by the Nelson Mandela. So here, Nelson Mandela took inspiration, what he made that contribution and what he made that history was very much useful to him for bright future to the South Africa. So he also followed in that what he designed by the Gandhiji that way. He also fought against the Britishers. Finally, he got his achievement. That is the nation of the South Africa. Independent from the Britishers, he got independent into the South Africa. So finally here, Gandhiji contributions was very much useful to make the inspiration and make the bright future to the South African. So here Gandhiji contributions was given a good future to the South African by the Nelson Mandela. I hope you satisfied with my statement. History is nothing but it also deals with the past and also including it deals with the future. So that is the concept here. I hope you understand that. So when I am preparing the history subject, I got one doubt, friends. So what is my feeling on history subject and how can I resolve it? So when I decided that history is nothing but it's a backbone of innovation. So let me tell you with an example. It's give a lot of familiarity to you. So here, friends, just I said that it's a backbone of the innovations. How could I revolve it with the example of make a piece of chalk piece? So assume that this is a piece of chalk piece. So here, do you know friends how we make the piece of chalk piece? By the combination of atoms and particles, we prepare the chalk piece. So alright, it's fine. So here friends, my doubt is, if you don't know about the basic point of atoms and particles, can you make the piece of chalk piece? No, it's not possible to everyone, because of mustn't we have to should known about what is the atoms and what is the particle and what will be happen by the combination of both of them. We should be known that. Then it is possible to innovate anything. So that is a basic structure. So we should be known that. So that's why I shared that just now. It is a backbone of the innovation. I hope you understand that. Let's see. Let's go into our session. That is my subject, history. So my topic is very much interested. The concept of Swadeshi in Indian national movement. How the concept of Swadeshi was impact on every national movement. We'll be see right now. So friends, just now I used many times what is Swadeshi term. So do you know friends what is the particular meaning of Swadeshi word? Let's see here. The Swadeshi, the word was taken from the Sanskrit language. So if you can analyze the Swadeshi word, you can see the two terms in the Swadeshi. So that is Swa and Deshi. Friends, here you can see that Swa is nothing but domestic or own. Deshi is nothing but nation or country. So if you can pronounce both of term, Swadeshi is nothing but domestic nation or own nation. So it means that everything will be happen by the taking the supremacy of Swadeshi people. So it is the concept of Swadeshi, and it can resolve and it can impact very much in the Indian national movement. So let's see. In this slide, we are going to discussing about historical background of Swadeshi concept. So in the historical background of Swadeshi concept, will be mostly emphasize that what are the Swadeshi concept was emphasized before the arrival of Britishers, and how it was impact on after the arrival of Britishers. Let's see here. So you can see the first picture. In the picture, you can observe that before the arrival of Britishers, it means before the 1600 period, our India was ruled by many more Muslim dynasties. At that time, the Muslim dynasties was prepare the production to the indigenous only. They were not imported any foreign products. Just they are consumption their products throughout our nation only. So that's why there is no essential to establish the Swadeshi concepts. So that's why we didn't see ever before the arrival of the Britishers. So that's why later we can see that in this picture, this is after the arrival of Britishers, how the features of India we can see that right now. So after the arrival of Britishers, we can see that Britishers are import the product which they made it at the British country. So that's why later our nationalist was fight against the Britishers. Why we are importing your product to our India? We are losing economically, and we are losing many more jobs to prepare the production. So that's why they are mostly emphasized to avoid this Swadeshi, to against the British product, and that's why they emerged this Swadeshi concept in the period of after arrival of Britishers. Let's see the friends, next slide. We are going to discussing about the first phase and second phase and third phase and fourth phase and fifth phase. So these phases was mostly totally divided by the L.M. Bhole. So according to L.M. Bhole, we will be discuss 5 stages. So let's see the first stage, the period of from 1850 to 1904, and second period is from 1905 to 1917, and third period is from 1980 to 1947. And fourth period is 1947 to 1991, and fifth period is 1991 to still now onwards. So we can discuss in these stages how the Swadeshi was impact particular stages. So let's see that. So in the first stage, we will be going to discussing about how Swadeshi was getting structure, how Swadeshi was emphasized by the nationalists. We will be discussed here. So from the period of 1850 to 1904, we simply say that the structure of Swadeshi was established. The structure of Swadeshi was emerged. So let's see that. The Swadeshi is genesis by moderates like Dadabhai Naoroji and R.C. Dutt and Mahadev Govinda Ranade and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. You can see that friends, the Swadeshi was genesis by the moderates. Who are the moderates? Did you know friends? Who are the moderates? Who fight in the earliest nationalist, those are called the moderates. Who fight against the Britishers in the earliest period, those are called the moderates. So moderates, those example is Dadabhai Naoroji and R.C. Dutt and Mahadev Govinda Ranade and Gopala Krishna. Those are many more nationalists is there, but we mostly focused on who are play a key role in the period of 1850 to 1904. So let's see how they are emphasized to build up this Swadeshi concept, how their contributions was given to Swadeshi concept. We will discuss. So here, friends, will be discussed one by one nationalist their contribution. So Dadabhai Naoroji, you can see in this slide, you can read the points. He is the first person who refers to unilateral transfer of wealth from India to British, resulting in widespread poverty and severe famines. So friends, just now I read about Dadabhai Naoroji. So one more interesting point about the Dadabhai Naoroji is that was the first person to be elected in the British Parliament from the India. So at a time, he mostly criticized the economical policy of India, and Britishers was how they demanded. The Britishers asked how they demanded on India and what are the rules was given by the Britishers. We will be discussing here. So he mostly criticized that illegally how the transference of national income to the British country, through the home charges, how home charges was impact on our national income, and or illegally how they are transferring our national income to the British country, and how they are utilizing our national income for their development. He mostly focused that, and he mostly criticized how the India was drained by the illegal transference of our national income. So let's see in the second point. He familiar to all through his famous book, that is Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. So in the Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, he mostly focused that, and he mostly compiled the information about how the drain theory was impact on our Indian nation, and how they are transferring illegally our national income to the British country to the home charges. He was the first person to identify what is the drain theory and how it was impacting our nation. So that is the most contributions about the Dadabhai Naoroji, and really he play a good role to against the Britishers. Let's see next slide. So R.C. Dutt, his famous book is Economical History of India. His famous book is Economical History of India. So in his famous book, he also mostly compiled that how the economical policy of Britishers was impact, and how it's the economical policy of Britons was initiated in India. So how it was, he was also mostly criticized the economical policy of Britishers in his book. So that is Economical History of India. So one more interesting fact about him, he was also make some more associations and society against the Britishers to set up the Swadeshi concept. On that principle, he was given more contribution against the Britishers. So let's see another pic. Mahadev Govinda Ranade. So you can see his pic also is there. So Mahadev Govinda Ranade, he was also foremost person in the nationalist. He is also called as a moderate. So he emphasized that need of modern India industrial development. So friends, here we technically understand that before the industrial development in India, we are using and we are purchasing all those things which was introduced from the Britishers. So here, if we use Britishers product, then ultimately we are giving economically developing to them. So we are not developed us with our income. We are giving our income to other countries. So that's why he finds that error in our India, and he mostly focused on to develop industrial in India. So if we develop industrially, then we will be production of goods. It will be happen in our nations. So we can easily develop economically and technically. So we can use our income to develop and make a wealth to our nation. So that's why he mostly focused on industrial development and how it was impacted to make a good economically to our nation. So let's see here, friends, is a picture of Mahadev Govinda Ranade. So next slide. Indian National Congress. I know, friends, I hope we have some idea about the Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress was established in the period of 1885 December 28 at Bombay. So Indian National Congress was play also key role to make a Swadeshi within a unity, within the consolidations of all nationalists. Before the establishment of Indian National Congress, the nationalists was individually their ideologies perform on the Swadeshi concept, but there is a lack of unity among the all Indians. So that's why the INC was given play a key role to make in consolidations among the all nationalists. It was given in unity among the all nationalists. So if they are unity, they will have chances to take more effective decisions against the Britishers. So it will play a key role to make the and establish the and that to make a good features to our Swadeshi concepts. Let's see next style. So here friends, second phase. Just now we had discussed about first phase, how it was impact on our nation and how the nationalists was developed our concept of Swadeshi and how it was useful to us, and economically how we have to develop that. It was emphasized by the Mahadev Govinda Ranade, and drain theory was introduced, and give awareness to the peoples through our Dadabhai Nehruji. Like that events was happened in the period of first. So let's see second phase, that is from 1904 to 1917. So friends, we are discussing here Swadeshi concept, their influence on our national movement. But someone feels that Swadeshi concept nothing but Swadeshi movement, but it actually is wrong. Because of Swadeshi movement is nothing but how it was emerged in the period of from 1903 to 1911. That is particular period is called Swadeshi movement. But Swadeshi concept means nothing but from the period of 1850 to from till today, how it was giving impact on ruling our country and how it was given impact to make effective to our national movement. That is a concept and that is the theme of the Swadeshi concept. So let's see what was happening in the second period and how the nationalists was enacted and initiated some more movements against the Britishers, how the peoples was followed and joined in their movement, how it was becoming initiated. Let's see that. So in the second phase, we're going to discussing the from period of 1904 to 1917. The Swadeshi first time came into the force. The Swadeshi is the first time came into the force in the period of second phase. So here second point is Bengal partition on 16th October 1905. The Bengal partition was happened in the period of 16th October 1905. So here the Swadeshi was established and initiated in the period of 1903 to 1911. Just now I had told you. So here how it was becoming effectively through the partition of the Bengal. Through the partition of the Bengal, there is he getting something importance in that Swadeshi movement. So we can discuss how it's becoming effective and how people was emerged in this movement and how it's becoming communal will be see right now. So here friends, on the period of 16th October 1905, the Britishers was declared the partition of the Bengal. It was becoming one of the incident among the Indian national history. So friends, I would like to ask one question to you. You can see in the Indian history, every incident has some particular reason to happen there. Do you know what is the reason was revolved to make the partition of the Bengal? Let's see what is the reason was behind it to partition of the Bengal by the Britishers. So here there is a two reasons to partition of the Bengal. That is, one is official reason and one is the hidden reason. So let's see what is the official reason was declared by the Britishers. The official reason of declared by the Britishers, that is, Bengal provinces was a very big provinces among all the provinces during the period of Swadeshi movement. So that's why it is unfavorable to administered by the single government. So for the purpose of we are implementing divide and rule policy in the Bengal provinces. It will give a flexibility to rule with the single government. So that's why for that purpose we are going to dividing the Bengal provinces. So you can see that Bengal was consist with the 78 millions of people. You can see that in this slide, the Bengal was with the Bengal and Eastern Bengal and Assam and some more part of the Odisha. The Bengal provinces was combinations of 4 states, that is a Bengal, Eastern Bengal and Assam and Odisha. So what is the hidden reasons? Just now we had discussed what is the official reasons was declared by the Britishers. Now we will discuss what is the hidden reasons was to make the partition of the Bengal. So the hidden reason is Bengal was a central point to the national movement, to the nationalists, because of many more our nationalists came from the Bengal provinces. So for that purpose, if they are togetherness, and one more important fact on the Bengal provinces is, in the Bengal provinces you can see that the togetherness among the Hindus and Muslims. The togetherness of among the Hindus and Muslims will be take effective decisions and will be make against agitations against the Britishers. It will be happen rarely in the period of Swadeshi movement. So at a time, the Lord Curzon was decided that, and we feel that if they are the togetherness, they are ready to war against the us. So if it will continue so we will be start our supremacy on the India. They will not continue our supremacy on India. So they will be argue that, and they will be make agitations against to us. So we have to make classes among the Hindus and Muslims. So for that purpose, for that reason, he was divided to Bengal and he was implemented divide and rule policy. So let's see that India, the reactions and Vande Mataram movement, it's becoming a slogan to the Swadeshi movement. Let's see how the Swadeshi movement also called as a Vande Mataram movement. So in the period of 1905, October 16, we are declared as a Hartal against the Britishers. Because of, you can see that how Hartal was being effectively against the Britishers. Sometimes we also read in the newspaper, and sometimes we will be seeing in the news some are declared the Hartal and some are declared the Hartal in the state for against their enemies. Like that, many times we listen that. So I think you have familiar on Hartal. Hartal means nothing but, we can take one example from during the period of Telangana movement. So we had also done many Telangana movements against the Andhra Pradesh to get separate state from the Andhra Pradesh. So here our Telangana people was many times declared Hartal against the Andhra Pradesh. So during the declaration of Hartal, they make a communal movement to the strike, and as well as they burn and they fire their photos and ideals and their statues, like as they have to make commemorations on that movement. That is the purpose of Hartal. So our Bengal peoples also declared the Hartal against the proposals given by the Britishers on the point of October 16, 1905. So at a time, the Bengal peoples was bathed at the Ganga river, and they are striked, and they started the strike in the street level. So and with the effective song, that is the Vande Mataram. Friends, when we are singing the Vande Mataram song, we will feel some patriotic joyfulness, while we're singing of Vande Mataram. Like that, when we are singing that, when we are creating that moment, the tone, it's very much give an effective to us. Really, it was given a many much inspiration to the people who was living in the Bengal, and they are mostly attend in that movement to make that massive movement. Many of people took inspiration to that word, particular slogan, that is a Vande Mataram. So we can take the example like that. Quotations was given very much effective to make and to join in that movement. Like that, do or die movement, do or die slogans. It was also play a key role in the period of 1942 Quit India movement. I hope you know that the do or die quotation was revealed by the Gandhiji. It was also play a key role to make a massive movement to against the Britishers. It was also enhanced that, and it was also play a key role to give a togetherness among the people. So let's see that one more example about it. Jai Telangana, it was during the period of Telangana movement. While we are singing the Jai Telangana, we will getting some patriotic joyfulness on our feelings, and we will be follow in that movement. It causes to make that massive movement against their enemies. Like that, examples we have many more, and slogans will be play a weapon as a weapon to that make massive movement against the Britishers. The movement as we call as a Swadeshi movement, and it was played actively against the Britishers. So you can see that, so Bankim Chandra Chatterjee was written the Vande Mataram song. Okay, so we can see next slide. The activities in Swadeshi movement. The part A is boycott British product. So it was also play a key role to against the Britishers, that is a boycott British product. So if we boycotted the British product, it will be we will be develop our nationally, and we will be develop our economically, and it will give very much useful to make wealthy to our nation. So here we can see that how the Indians was boycotted, and what are the products was boycotted in the period of Swadeshi movement. So let's see in this slide, the Manchester cloths and Liverpool salt and foreign matchbox and foreign sugar and all type of British product was boycotted by the Indian nation peoples. So here the Manchester cloth and Liverpool salt, you can see that Manchester cloth, it's a basic need and basic thing and basic commodity to use it. You can see that salt, it's really we can use that. Even though our Indian peoples are refused to using salt also, even matchboxes and sugar. And some of the saint, while they are worshipping to the god, they are refused to use foreign product, that is sugar. And some are all type of British product, that is women also refuse using the bangles which is made by the Britisher, and as well as some of the Jamindaris wife also refuse to wear their saris. Even though it will be valuable, they are not minded that. They have to boycott all those product which was made by the Britishers. That is a concept, and it was also play effective role to give an emotional to make this massive movement to the Swadeshi movement. Let's see that. So here friends, just now I told you we have to boycotted all the British product which was made by the Britishers. So in the time, if we are boycotted, we should be develop our industrials. we should be product our commodities and goods ourselves for endogenous purpose, to make the economical development, to make our nation in the wealthy purpose. So at a time when we are boycotted the foreign products, we get one thought: we have to make and we have to prosperity to our Indian industries. So you can see in the slide the prosperity of Indian product. The prosperity of Indian product was also held and was emerged in the period of Swadeshi movement. It was happened by the boycotted all British product. You can see the next point, that is development of Indian industries. The development of industries was happened in the first time in the period of Swadeshi movement. You can see some more. I can listed some more Indian industries in the period of Swadeshi movement. The first cotton cloth mill was established at the Fort Flower in Calcutta in the period of 1818. So in the period of 1818, it was established, that is cotton cloth mill. But in the coming to the Swadeshi movement, it was enhanced a lot to product the Swadeshi and indigenous product. So it was also play a key role to production of our indigenous commodities and indigenous goods. And second mill is the second cotton cloth mill, Bombay Spinning and Weaving, established in the period of 1854 at Bombay. So second mill was established at Bombay in the period of 1854. It was become a key role to give the indigenous product to wind up the people who are needed indigenous product. So it will play a key role to establish and to introduce the indigenous product. You can see that first jute industry in the period of 1852, that is at Calcutta. So the jute industry was established at Calcutta. It is very near to Hooghly River, which was presented at Calcutta. So you can see the next slide. So Indian industries which were established in the period of from the period of 1904 to 1919. So it was emerged Swadeshi movement, and some more industries was formed by our national leaders. Those are 1904 cement industry at Chennai, and 1906 Vangalakshmi cotton mill, and 1907 Bengal Chemical Company started by Acharya P.C. We will discuss one by one. 1904 was established cement industry at Chennai, and as well as 1906 Vangalakshmi cotton mill was established at Andhra Pradesh. So those are industries was very much useful their relevant provinces. But in coming to the 1907, the Bengal chemical industry was started by Acharya P.C. Ray. He was one of the nationalists in the during of Swadeshi movement. So in the period, the Bengal Chemical Company was becoming a key role, and he was very much motivated to peoples to prepare the indigenous product in the period of 1907. So we can see one more example in the Indian industries, that is 1907 Tisco started by the Jamshedji Tata at Jamshedpur. Here Tisco company means Tata Iron Steel Company. It was started by the Jamshedji Tata. He was also one of the good wealthy person at a time during the Swadeshi movement. So he was started to against the Britishers to make indigenous product throughout our nation. That is the Tisco company. You can see, friends, it was existed as a top industry through overall the world. That is the greatness of Tisco company. It was prepared all types of the products till now. So it was also play a key role to give indigenous product to our nation. So you can see that. Next slide. Swadeshi education institutions. Swadeshi educational institutions. So you can see that here we had discussed about boycotted the British product. But even the students also refused to study there, which was established by the Britishers. Those are schools, either courts, either government provinces, anything. They are refused to, and they are make massive movement, and they was also involved in that movement. So you can see that some more economic educational institutions was established by our nationalist, that is Bengal National College. Bengal National College was established during the period of Swadeshi movement. So it was also play a good immense role in the period of 1906. So it was established in the period of 1906 by Arvinda Ghosh was becoming a principal in this Bengal National College. So he was motivated to the student a lot, and he was given awareness on this Swadeshi movement, how it was being impacted and how it will be influenced in other national movements, and how it was developed. And he was done a external thing here, that is he was sent to the many students to the Japan for the purpose of learn and becoming advanced in the self-reliance. So do you know, friends, the meaning of self-reliance means nothing but self-confident. It means getting the self-confident and to make a movement against the Britishers, and how we during the having the any national movements and how we play key role. It will be we will be learned by the self-reliances. So he was given a play a key role to give that opportunity to the student. You can see that 1906 National Council of Education. So in the National Council of Education, will be discussed here. It was one of the council was established in the period of 1906 to make some bidden rules to the all schools and all colleges. Now we can see that in this period, in this generation, will we see UPSC and SSC Summer Commission is there. So those are done that, those are play a key role to bidden some rules to the which was they are monitored to all those things. They give us some rules and they will be take authority on that. Likewise also our National Council of Education will also play a key role, and it was also bidden some rule to the all colleges which was established in the period of 1906. It was become also key role to give all those things. Next, the point is 1907 Indian Society of Oriental Arts. The Indian Society of Oriental Arts was established in the 1907. So here we can see that it is one of the fellowship scholarship. The Nandanlal Bose was got first time that scholarship from the arts. So it means that we also have to develop in the arts also to the national people. So we have to give some instructions, and we have to intimate to them and to be convert their thinking and their thinking in the art side. You can see next slide. Other Swadeshi aspects. So other Swadeshi aspect we'll see here. Swadeshi store. It was established by the Rabindranath Tagore, and Swadeshi Bandhan Samiti by Ashwini Kumar Dutt, and Swadeshi League Nyapati Subbarao. So some more etc. is there. So here Swadeshi store and Swadeshi Samiti was play key role to store and compile all indigenous product which was made by our Indian. So he stored that and he was wind up to the peoples, and he was given some more instruction, and he given awareness to the peoples what is Swadeshi movement and how it was play key role, and we should be also take part in that movement. It will we will be avoid the government of the Britishers. So it will give our Indian independence. So we should be need to participate on that. So it's given some instruction to the peoples through the Swadeshi stores. And one more thing, Swadeshi League was also take inspiration, given immense strategical point is that he was given some more speeches to the Swadeshi League and some more written thus fiery articles to give an awareness and to make a mass movement to that movement. So Home Rule movement was started. So in the period of from 1904 to 1917 will be discussed, and we have discussed about Swadeshi movement. Now we will be discuss about Home Rule movement and its impact on self-government. So Home Rule movement, we can analyze the word Home Rule movement. Home means our self-living place, and rule means something we have to bidden that rules are demands, that is called the rules. It means that we can see that it's also similar to the Swadeshi movement. Swadeshi movement nothing but we have to prepare our indigenous product throughout our nation for the development economically and for the development technologically. So here we can see in the Home Rule movement, it's also very near objectives and very near principles, that is a Swadeshi. So you can see that Home Rule movement was started by the Ani Besant and Bala Gangadhar Tilak. So both are play a key role to make that Home Rule movement in the period of 1916 to 17. So you can see in their picture also, this is Ani Besant and this is Bala Gangadhar Tilak. Those are initiated this movement, that is Home Rule movement. You can see that what are the objectives of Home Rule movement. So the establishment of self-government in India. Really it's an immense point, friends. If we establish our self-government, we will get experience from the Britishers how we will be run our government with the self-lay. It means self-government means nothing but Swadeshi. Swadeshi means that we have to take supremacy on our nation through by our nationalist people. That is the main theme of this Swadeshi. Here also he is telling that we have to establish that self-government. So what is meant by self-government? It means nothing but we have to prepare one government, and we should be initiated that, and we should be take that supremacy on that government. That is the meaning of self-government. So the establishment of self-government in India, it was started through the Home Rule movement. You can see that second point, promoting political education and spirit of discussion in India. you can see that point, promoting to the political educations. How we will be promoting to the political education to the nationalists? Because of, you can see in the period of 1907, due to this Surat split, there is make some classes among the nationalists and moderates. So through the classes of moderates and nationalists and extremists, we are divided as a nationalist and as a moderates. So that's why we will lose our unity and consolidations. Here we are promoting political education to the nationalist movement, nationalist. So that's why they are become again the consolidations, and the home rule movement was key role to give in a unity among the nationalists who are the extremists and who are the moderates. And it's given spirit of discussion in India. If we are unity or if we are consolidations, then we have more chances to take in a powerful decision, a effective decision against the Britishers. If we are togetherness, we'll be do anything, we'll be initiate any program or any movement against the Britishers to make a massive. So that's why the Home Rule movement argued that promoting to the political education is very much necessary, and it's also gives some spirit of discussion in India. You can see that next point is greater political representations for India in the British government. It means that before the period of 1916 to 1917, the British government was started, and the British government was consisted with all our British people. So at a time, what will happen? There is no more take decisions from the Indian people, and there is no more interaction of Indian people, and we cannot get any favorable movement or any favorable actions from the Britishers. So if they given some priority to our Indian people, then we will be also take that immense concept or immense reactions, and we will be have chances to give that, and we will be have chances to take some favorable conditions and favorable actions towards the nation movement. So it will helpful to a lot to us. So that's why the Home Rule movement was argued to give some priority in the British government. You can see that just we had discussed about second phase, how the Swadeshi concept was emerged in the period of 1907 to 1919, and as well as how the Home Rule movement was initiated and how it was impact on nationalists, how it was mobilized to the moderates and extremists. We just had discussed that. So now you can see that the third phase, from the period of 1918 to 1947, will be discussed the third phase, and is also called as a Gandhi era. Friends, I think you got one doubt here. So why we specifically maintain here Gandhi era? Because of the arrival of the Gandhiji to our nation in the period of 1915 January 9. So in the period, he was started his contribution against the Britishers for our national movement towards our independence to our nation from the period of 1919 to 1947. He became a key role, and he mobilized to the people from the period of 1919 to 1947. So that's why through his contribution, we recognize it as a Gandhi from the period of 1818 to 1947. So here, friends, the Gandhi contribution we will be going to discuss here. He mobilized all over Indians towards national movement. So here we have to discuss about Swadeshi movement and Home Rule movement. So in the Swadeshi movement and Home Rule movement, just they give awareness to the peoples from the higher classes and the medieval classes. Their awareness was not reached to the lower classes. So that's why he founded that falls, and he mostly think about where is the problem and how we give solution to that problem. Finally, he was getting the solution, that is, he mobilized to all our villages peoples. It will help to make a massive movement against the Britishers, and as well as they will also get some information about the Swadeshi concept, and it will also useful to make an awareness among all peoples. They will also join in that movement. Like that, those are the impact will be introduced in the Gandhi era. So you can see that he mobilized to all our villages people, and you can see that in the picture he was mobilizing through his speeches at the villages. You can see in this picture and in this pic. So here the third point is Swadeshi work as a strengthful weapon towards the national movement. It's absolutely right, friends. We are seeing just now how the Swadeshi concept was impact on the Swadeshi movement, and how it was given impact on Home Rule movement, and how the nationalists was established and set up how they are given one structure to the nationalist, to the Swadeshi concept. Just we had discussed that. So now we are going to discussing about how it was becoming a weapon to this all nationalist movement. You can see that everything will be happening on the principle of Swadeshi concept. So we can simply say that it was play a key role to give effective things to the national movement. We can see the next slide. Non-cooperative movement in the Swadeshi, and we are going to link up with this Swadeshi. Everything regarding to the Britishers were boycotted. Here, everything regarding to the Britishers were boycotted. Here, we see that boycotted movement or boycotted concept was held or emerged in the period of Swadeshi movement from the period of 1903 to 1911. You can see that, and we had discussed about it, but in the period we are boycotted what are the essential commodities and what are the essential good was there, like that salt and sugar and matchboxes, like the simple immediate necessary things we are boycotted. That is the limited things we are boycotted. But here, when we come into the non-cooperative movement, was Gandhiji boycotted everything which was made by the Britishers. Everything, either is a title and either is a ICS government jobs and either court and schools and work and services, everything was boycotted to make an against movement to the Britishers. Here you can see that some more titles. Here title is Gandhiji Kaiser I Hind. So the Gandhiji Kaiser I Hind was given by the South Africa through his recognized of his contribution, but he was refused to take the title because of he wanted to only one thing, to everything we have to boycott that, to make a massive movement to mobilize to the peoples on this concept. So that's why he was refused to take the title. And we can see that some of the ICS jobs. ICS means Indian Civil Services. Some of the peoples also ready to resign their ICS job only. Here we can see that nowadays we are not interested to resign at least we are small job like that we are. At a time they want to, they mostly concentrate on we have to make that massive movement against the Britishers and we have to get independent from the Britishers. They mostly think that and they only reveal that. So that's why they are not take back step to even those resign the ICS services also. You can see some more government jobs. There means here you can see that why they are refusing all those jobs, because of Gandhiji initiated one movement, that is non-cooperative movement. Non-cooperative means we don't need to cooperate with the Britishers. Utterly we have to non-cooperate everything in this movement. So that's why they are refused to take the titles and they are refused to service to them for the survival, for getting the towards getting independent to our nations. For that purpose they are refused and they are resign their job also. And you can see that some of the students also refuse to study in that government, British established college or schools is there, whatever it may be. They have to refuse it, they are boycotted it for making effective movement and given a inculcate that movement. So that's why they are refused that. You can see some of the court, some of the lawyers also not interested to work in their courts to serve to them, because of we have to, everything we have to make that non-cooperative. We don't need to cooperate to do them. We against them, we fight and we create some agitations against the Britishers. So that is the concept in the period of non-cooperative movement. So you can see that in this slide, boycotted British goods. They make some more pamphlets in the period of non-cooperative movement. You can see in this pamphlet also, it is also written here, boycotted foreign goods. The concept is we have to boycott all those foreign goods and we have to prepare the indigenous products. Let's see what will be happen in the next. Non-cooperative movement link up with the Swadeshi. So replacement of everything Swadeshi instead of Britishers. So we have to replace everything what we had, what was refused and what was boycotted for the Swadeshi or foreign products. So here, if we are replaced that through our Swadeshi product, so we have to develop our industries, because of if we are boycotted something, we have to prepare that. We have to prepare ourselves. For that, we have to develop our industries. So for that, they are also mostly emphasized to develop the industries. We can see that in the period of 1920, Gandhiji was mobilized to the all over villages and all over village people, and they are also given some supporting towards making immense towards the Indian nation, and they also play a key role to give that immense concept. Let's hear. He was given one suggestion to the peoples to use the charaka instead of the foreign product. Here you can see the charaka. So if we use the charaka, then we will prepare our indigenous product through the using of charaka. So here we can easily prepare that our Manchester class or anything which is very much essential to us. We can see that this is a charaka which in the period of 1920 the Gandhiji was used to this charaka, and he was mobilized to the peoples to use this charaka instead of the or foreign product. Okay. Here, so all are mobilized by the a great speech of the Gandhiji. So they are also given some more contributions, and they are also given some supporting to prepare themselves the endogenous product. So here what will be happening, the effective result is in the period of 1920 to 1921, the economical year imported by the Britishers, that is 102 crore. But is coming to the next year, the next economical year, that is the 1921 to 1922, it was fall down their import, that is a 57 crores. You can see that 50% of result and 50% of profits was downfall, because of there is a hidden reason is the contribution of Gandhiji. How we can see here, while by the using of the charaka, we are control the unnecessary things, and we had used it, which was very most useful to us. Just we used that, and we had prepare ourselves through the using of charaka. So we don't need to purchase the foreign product which was imported by the Britishers. So we avoided to purchase all those products which was imported by the Britishers. Then ultimately their result and their profit was fall down from the 102 crore to 57 crores. It ultimately from it's approximately 50% they fall down their result. So it was happened by the only role of charaka. So it was the concept of our Gandhiji, and he was play a key role to mobilize to the villagers people, and he was given instruction, and all are the obey that instructions. You can see the next slide, non-cooperative movement and Swadeshi. We are going to link up with them. Just now I had told you that even the students also refusing to study in this Britisher school. So approximately there is a 90,000 of students was refused to study there, which was established by the Britishers. So all are they boycotted, and all are they stopped their education to make an immense to that movement. Here you can see that 90,000 of students, it's not a joke to stop their education. You know, there are also some, they also have some effective feelings on the national movement, and they will also feel that to be participated in that non-cooperative movement along with the Gandhiji. They are also given some their contributions against the Britishers and towards our national movement. So you can see that at a time our nationalist was established nearly 800 schools by our indigenous people. You can see that nearly 1:100 the student was studied in the school. So next point is Subhash Chandra Bose was resigned his ICS officer. So he was resigned his designations, that is Indian Civil Service. So even though he was also contributed a lot to resign her designation. He was also play a key role to make massive movement to the non-cooperative movement. Even though he was also become the Bengal National College principal, he mocked out to students, and he given a lot of inspiration to the student to also be joined in that movement. It was very much helpful to the student to be participate in that nationalist movement. Nehru Report in the period of 1928. The Nehru Report was given a lot of experience while the preparation of our original constitution in the period of 1946. So before that we don't have any experience while how we can prepare our constitutions. The Nehru was prepared the constitution by take the challenge of large Birken hold he was commented on Indians. That is, no one was deserved to prepare the Indian national constitutions. They are not be in that position to create and to make that their constitution. So that's why that comment was taken as a challenge to the nation Motilal Nehru, and he was given a lot of contribution to prepare the Indian constitution, while at the period of 1928 he was also give some more helpful to how we rule our India in the period of 1928. So next slide we can see that disobedience movement. Disobedience movement means you can understand that disobey to the all laws of Britishers which was made by the Britishers, which was enacted that. We have to disobey the all laws. So first time the Gandhiji was initiated anti-obedience of Britishers. He was started the Salt Satyagraha movement in the period of 1930 to 1931. So at a time from the period of March 12 to 6th April, he was started his rebellion against the Britishers from the Sabarmati Ashramam to the Dandi village. Here we can, friends, we know that India was a three edges of the ocean. We have multiple facilities to prepare the salt, but before we can see that no one be ready to prepare the salt, because of already British government was initiated and already British government was make some rules on the salt preparation. There is no one should be prepare the salt. They should be used that which was imported by the British product. That is a law which was introduced by the Britishers. But our Gandhiji was disobeyed to all laws which was made by the Britishers. First time he ever seen like that violence movement, that is a civil disobedient movement. We can see his picture also. The picture was taken from the Dandi village. So finally, my conclusion on my topic, how Swadeshi was impact on all our national movement. We can see that 1935 Act and 1937 elections, INC frames government in many states. In the election of 1937, INC given one key role to frame one government in the many states. So through the frame of government, we get some more experience how we will be ruled after the independence of our nation, and what are the demands we should be follow that, and what are the laws we should be make that. We will be get some more experience in the period of 1937 election. You can see that 1928 Nehru report helpful to make Indian constitution during the period of independence. We know that everyone of friends, in the period of 1946, due to the contribution of our Ambedkar, we had prepared our constitution successfully. But there is interesting fact here. Already Motilal Nehru was prepared the constitution which is essential at a time, that is a 1928 report. It was also given some full helpful to while the preparation of our self constitution. We can observe here we are not taken any others help while the preparation of the constitution. It means that already we had get experience how to prepare it. So there is not a necessary to take the helpful from the others. So that's also being a key role. That is 1936 planned economic and from India by the Mokshaguna Vishwesvaraya. The Mokshaguna Vishwesvaraya was started the economical planning for India, how we will develop it economically, and what are the impact was we should be follow that, and how economical things was to develop and enhance the agriculture sector and primary sector and secondary sector. It will also given some rules, and it will also given some demands to give to make some economically development. So after independence, we make 5 years planned economic development. After the independence, we introduced 5-year plan. Everybody know that in the period of 1950, we had started our 5-year economical plan. So it was becoming very effectively to develop our nation economically and agriculture sector, everything it was concentrated that. So that's why our India was become now successfully our India was become our India nowadays our India was competing with other nation also. So the reflection of Swadeshi after independence, and it is a never end process, still it was existed. It will be discussed right now how Swadeshi was impacted on after the independence of our nation. So you can see that our India got independent in the period of 1945, and successfully we become a republic country in the period of 1950 January 26. From the January 26, 1950, so the ruling of India was taken by our people. So here the Swadeshi concept was played a key role to the giving a good ruling to the India. He introduced some more economical plannings, and it was given a lot of efforts to make our India towards development. You can see here after the you can see that fifth stage, that is from the 1991 onwards. In the period, there is a LPG was introduced. It means liberalization and privatization and globalization. It means here before the 1991 there is a lot of restrictions on our economical things, that is a privatization. There is no need to invest private peoples on our government development. After the influence of economical in the period of 1991, we are giving some more freedom to the LPG people who are ready to invest privately to our development of our nation. And as well as after that, or to the Make in India, the moment it was one of the program which was initiated by the Narendra Modi is a central government. It was initiated recently in the period of 2014 September 25. So through the Make in India, we are going to develop side. So here we are giving 26 sector like that IT sector and as well as chemical sector and automobile sector. Through the introducing 26 sector, we will be provided some more economical jobs who are unemployed in our India. So like that, many things was influenced, and Swadeshi concept was given influence a lot in the period of from the 1852. Still it was existed because of we are seeing Make in India. We are feeling that we are receiving that their merits and their demerits. Here we are receiving their merits due to the concept of Swadeshi. Our central government also initiated this movement on the principle of Swadeshi concept. So I hope you friends you understand my lesson, and finally I want to give oath of thanks to my guidance lecturers, that is Challagiri sir, and as well as by the great supporting of my principal, I was given a effective class in this today. So one more thanks to my eminent person who was introduced this program, that is Honorable Prem Kumar sir. I heartfully thank you sir for like this introduce this program. Thank you.